Hoyoverse have given me my most challenging task yet.
In the beginning. Hi, Mom.
Understanding all of Honkai Star Rail. Completely standalone game about the most canonically straight women you can find in gaming.
Bart, why are you like this?
That's right. Steve Handjobs is back.
Yeah, now that I think about it, that is literally the story.
This is a gacha game.
She is mommy.
Is our mommy.
Gigguk, I know you. Gigguk, down.
We go.
Whoop whoop. You are wrong for putting Tina up there.
Stir on.
Sydney, there's a giant gaping hole in his chest.
Stir on.
How down bad is she?
Let me nuzzle in that yellow chest, Gussie.
Oi!
I need an adult.
You did it again?
And I can assure you, this is the short version.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Book of B the one? Clouder gets you nowhere. Maybe. Booga Booga is so very cute. Booga Booga is so very cute. Cacao. Cacao. Anyways. You like my wings? Too bad. They're too big. Oh gosh. Imagine my wings on the next outfit. They're big gigantic. What did Gibbs tell me? I don't think we can watch that. Okay, well, we're gonna try. We'll try. We'll try. We'll try to enjoy the Gigguk. Honkai Star Rail. Bruh. Let me go get a Dr. Pepper. Everyone in the chat's like, God dang it, Boga. Okay. Let's go!
Star Rail is a game from Hoyoverse and is one of their latest attempts to ensure I cry myself to sleep at night for not being able to collect my favorite fictional
Of course, Gigguk. Of course.
anime.
Bart, why are you
may
like
know
this?
them from the worldwide sensation.
Gigguk! I don't know what to say. Welcome back, Dr. Pepper. I will... You know what? Go ahead.
Genshin Impact to my credit rating, but this is not Genshin Impact 2 or Honkai Impact 4th. This is a completely standalone game about traveling across the universe, saving different worlds like Space Canada, Space China, and Space Birmingham, featuring some of the most canonically straight women you can find in gaming. This is a gacha game, which is a genre of game where the main goal is to pull for anime characters you are most physically attracted to, with an infinitesimally small chance of actually obtaining them. My personal strategy boils down to a simple flowchart, wherein if there is a new character I can respectfully refer to as Mummy, I will violently do everything in my power to try to acquire them, only to get jump scared at the sight of receiving a child.
Surprise, motherfucker.
I can assure you that the E5 Clara on my account was achieved totally against my will, and I am not...
So you're gonna give me that E5 Clara, right? Gigguk? Like... Okay, we'll talk about it later.
trying to cosplay the protagonist from Black Bullet. But Gigguk, what's the real gameplay? That is the real gameplay. And yet Star Rail has tacked on an entire bonus game on top of that, where you can gather a team of people,
I mean, he's not wrong.
which in my case, by complete coincidence, all happen to be attractive women, traveling around the cosmos, taking it in turns, smacking each other with increasingly pretty animation, which is commonly referred to in the industry as turn-based combat. Where I get all the turns. As you can see here, my team I've named Weeaboo Mother's Day can do what I thought was a respectable amount of damage to get me through the story missions, and then you log into YouTube and find out there are people hitting enemies with a goddamn phone number.
That's a lot of damage.
Did I mention this video was sponsored by Honkai Star Rail? Because this video is sponsored by Honkai Star Rail.
No one would have ever guessed. Consume the water. I'll consume the Dr. Pepper.
See, over the years, the Star Rail team have given me money to get addicted to their game, that I immediately pay back through in-game currency, thus creating a self-sustaining economy with more stability than the stock market in the past 5 months. But today, Hoyoverse have given me my most challenging task yet. Understanding all of Honkai Star Rail. See, Honkai...
I will say, some of the lore needs work.
Honkai Star Rail has one of the most expansive stories, featuring intergalactic wars between cosmic gods, the entire plot of Starship Troopers with Kamen Rider, and the Lovecraftian nightmare creatures known as Twitch streamers, that most people don't even know about, because in order to access this information it requires one feat that most gacha gamers are physically unable to do.
Read.
But as an ex-employee
Pre-watch!
with a master's in engineering, Hoyoverse can clearly see that my reading skills are unparalleled. The potentially cutthroat cohabitation
In the beginning, it's cohabitation. Gigguk. What is your reading level?
and following the release of their biggest collaboration
To be fair, I can't pronounce some words.
ever with Fate Stay Night Unlimited.
Anyone saw my Olympus Company playthrough where I always mess up some simple words? When I'm tired, I can't read. I have to read in my head when I'm tired, because you'll hear me. Bagon said correctly! Fight me! Bite me! I'll stab you.
Blade Works that's out right now, I thought I'd take a page out of my Fate days and break down the entire Honkai Star Rail universe for newbies and veterans, because sometimes when you're playing the game and hear a sentence like
Jin Yuan, one of the Arbiter Generals of the Cloud Knights and the Xianzhou Alliance on the Lu.
To be fair, the man's... I don't know why, but his name just feels generic.
Fu, currently looking for disciples of Sanctus Medicus who are also trying to revive the Ambrosian.
you might as well be speaking to me in wingdings, but today I'll explain everything like you have the IQ of March 7th, and by the end of this video
Oi! She's not... She's kind of smart.
you will see that Honkai Star Rail is shockingly uncomplicated, and I can assure you, this is the short version.
There was no doubt in my mind that this was a short version. I was like, this is kind of short for a lore dive. Especially for how long much story is.
Another child.
To be fair, they're a long-lived species, and apparently he's like 70 or something. I think. Like, he's been training for like years.
That's right. Steve Handjobs is back, bitches.
Oh my god.
Hello guys, it's been a while. Welcome to my second TED Talk where we talk about the Honkai Star Rail universe. Now before we fully dive into the story, there are a few core concepts everyone needs to know so that you can fully understand everything that's going on. Yes, I'm talking to you, dialogue skipper who lets every fight run in autoplay. I've definitely never
I only do that for the basic fight.
done that myself. First and foremost, we have paths. But what is a path? I'm walking a path right now.
Or if I'm trying to pay attention to chat.
In Honkai Star Rail, paths are totally different. See, they are these universal philosophical concepts that anyone can believe in and practice. That was a lot of big words for the average gacha player, so let me...
The other whale chick? Are you talking about Shy Lily? You guys are weird.
simplify it down for you. It's how you think, dummy. Let's say a person believes in preserving and protecting life. Well, they probably believe in the path of preservation. Get that, vegans? Oh, you hate conflict and think everyone should just get along? Well, harmony seems...
What up with the magic card? Also, Bao is a... Pretty sure she's like a blue whale or a beluga whale. And Shy Lily is a, I'm pretty sure she's a... Isn't it like a killer whale or something? Because she was black and white before, right? So I'm pretty sure she's a killer whale.
right up your alley. That's right. Paths are to weebs in the Star Rail universe what astrology is to white women. In-game, this translates to different gameplay mechanics. A preservation character, for example, probably means they have a lot of shielding and can tank a lot of damage. Abundance characters, well, there's your healers. And destruction characters, destroy. Shit, damn, this is getting really complicated. And then you...
Don't say it at that point. Please don't say that it's getting complicated after only 3.
Universe, anyone who practices a certain belief of any path is called a path strider. They walk that lonely road, the only road that they have ever known.
One more line, Gigguk, and you're getting attacked by what is it? Sony Music.
I think I just quoted Green Day. And in rare
You
cases,
did.
see one being who explores the concept of their path in its entirety.
One of the songs from
embodies
when they
the
worked with
beliefs,
Sony.
practices the philosophies as deeply as one can, they can ascend to become an Eon. Eons are essentially these godlike beings that completely
Not me hoping to get one of them soon.
embody one singular path. Let's take Nanook for example. He is the Eon for the path of destruction. What does that mean? He is a hater. He is a hater on a level that no other being has ever seen. He hates everyone, everything. His hatred transcends racism, sexism, because he hates everyone equally. His path represents the belief that the creation of the universe was a mistake, so he wants to destroy everything. Once again, proving that men would rather eradicate all life in the universe than go to therapy. Like, damn bro, you good? Can't you just like get a pint, build a log cabin, start a podcast like the rest of us? So my wife has actually just started playing Honkai Star Rail, and I have a quote from her about her interpretation of Nanook. He's just a little hottie with a body. Yes, okay, maybe he wants to destroy a universe or two, but he's just an edgy little bad boy. Shut the fuck up and look at those pecs. Look at that emo fringe.
He only has one pet. Sydney, there's a giant gaping hole in his chest. How down bad is she?
Let me nuzzle in that yellow chest, Gussie.
Gigguk, if you don't say dear Lord, I'm gonna be worried.
Now,
That's also acceptable. Big sigh. I feel you on the big sigh.
in the Star Rail universe, there are all these different factions that basically boil down to following one Eon. They see their philosophy and goes, you know what? We can make a religion out of that. Well, why don't they make a path for gooning? I bet I can be a follower for that path.
Technically, that's abundant. I think.
Or joke's on you, there is a path for that. It's called the path of propagation.
Yeah, that one.
Here is your Eon, Taziron. An Eon whose sole motivation is to propagate and spread themselves across the universe. Which
Hilariously, the propagation is led by a bug. To be fair, makes sense, but yeah.
was born out of a feeling of intense loneliness.
I feel like they did this so they didn't have to put a bunny there.
Started self-replicating so much that he started a disaster that threatened the entire universe. So much so that other Eons needed to step in and be like, bro, can you stop gooning for 5 seconds? Imagine gooning so hard you almost wipe out the entire universe in the process. I wouldn't even be mad, I'd just be impressed. Honestly, knowing the Honkai Star Rail fanbase, that's probably the path they'd follow.
I knew you would come.
Now below the
Anyways.
Eons, you have the Emanators. Now, these are people that have been acknowledged by the Eons themselves and have been given extra powerful...
Don't we only have like... So far we only have like 3 emanators, right? Or 2? 3 or 2? I know... We have the sole emanator of Nihility. And then don't we have like... Wait, is it 2 emanators of the protection guy? I think. Or just 1? Not sure.
abilities from them, which is actually a big fat fucking lie because most of the Emanators that we've met so far have never even spoken to that bloody Eon. But
To be fair, she doesn't exactly want to be the emanator. It's kind of like a curse to be the emanator of Nihility. To be fair. Anyways.
Because one thing you come to realize is that just because a specific faction follows a specific Eon, that doesn't necessarily mean the Eon actually fucks with them. Like, there are some factions who can be like, we follow the path of destruction, Nanook is our god. And Nanook can be like, who is this man's? Why does everyone keep saying this is my man's? This isn't my man's. In summary, for all you power scalers out there, you got Eons at the top, then below them you got the Emanators, then below them you got the Path Striders and factions that follow the Eon's beliefs. Then you multiply this by 18 because that's how many paths are currently in Honkai Star Rail. And
I do think it's weird that they added another path when they have so many. But I guess, to be fair, they didn't really have a summoner path, so I guess that one was always going to get added eventually.
that's where the lore of Honkai Star Rail can be a little daunting, because there are so many characters, so many titles, so many factions, but when you break it all down, it all comes down to which path does a particular character follow. Everyone and every faction has a different drive and goal based on the path they follow. And all of the conflict in Honkai Star Rail revolves around the opposing beliefs that each Path Strider has. Did you get all that? Good. We can finally start at the beginning of the story.
I mean, that's actually... I guess you would actually need to know all that to start it.
Our story starts at the Herta space station, an amalgamation of a bunch of nerds who have a hard-on for the one and only Herta the goddamn genius. Philosophical hard-on, not an actual hard-on, I assume. Yes, this is one of...
You assume, yet there's multiple dolls of her running around. They treat her, all of them, the same. Not that I'm happy there are a lot of dolls, but there are a lot of them.
the smartest individuals in the entire universe.
For a while, I thought they were teleporting. Then I found out they were all separate. And I was like, that's a lot of dolls. Are you collecting yourself? Anyways.
Sassy lost child. Or her puppet. You know what? We'll get
She is a sassy lost child, though.
A girl about as privileged as Sea Dog VA, with a versifiers, and a dignified woman whose hobbies include theater, desserts, and breaking the Geneva Convention. At the station, they read...
I do love that literally she's just like a middle-aged mom that also breaks the Geneva Convention. She's not a good mom either.
Search all things that piques this little shithead's curiosity. And it's here that we get introduced to the first factions that will play a massive role in the entire narrative. First and foremost, you have the Nameless, which is an interesting name because constantly in the game people can be like, hey guys, I'm Himiko, I'm a Nameless. So what's your name? Himiko. Bruh. This faction follows the Eon of Trailblaze, Akavili, which is the path that we follow.
This is what
Akavili.
probably looked like. This recreation identifies
Akavili. They're all about traveling the universe, going on a bunch of adventures, making a bunch of friends.
When I understand the Trailblazer path is literally that. It's someone that basically was like Nami from One Piece. They want to chart the world. Kind of. Whereas they want to travel the infinite universe. That's their endless goal, which, okay.
Luffy of the Honkai Star Rail universe. And this is our Going Merry. The, train thing. The Astral Express. I knew that. See, unlike other Eons who are too good to hang out with pathetic humans, Akavili was that cool older uncle Eon who'd hang around with the kids and occasionally sneak them beers when nobody's watching. Which, I have no idea about. They were just a chill guy. So chill, in fact, that one day they mysteriously just fucked off. Nobody knows where they went. If they're alive, it was just the ultimate Irish goodbye. Now, at the opposite end of the spectrum,
that's why I would definitely be a Trailblazer, because Irish goodbyes are my thing.
Well, he was so edgy that he inspired other edgelords who don't want anything other than to see the universe burn. So they just go around fucking up other people's shit in the name of Nanook, being an overall vibe killer, and conveniently show up whenever there's a Stellaron. Wait, what is a Stellaron? Now, come here.
I do feel like you left that part out, but this is a nice way to introduce it.
Listen up. because Stellarons are massively important throughout the entire story of Honkai Star Rail. I don't know. Look, all we're told is that they're these weird, mysterious things that pop up every now and again and bring disaster wherever they appear.
From what I understand, Stellarons are embodiments? Like, fall-offs of the paths? Or something like that? Or they're like corruptions of paths or something, and them waking up causes problems. Like, they start doing their own thing. Or they're either that, or they're new paths trying to create themselves, or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but it's something between those two.
The Nook loves them, probably because he has a hard-on for disasters, and his other name is the Cancer of All Worlds. Which leads us right here to our wildcard faction, the Stellaron Hunters. Why are they called the
Faction that should be good, but they refuse to give her what she needs.
Stellaron Hunters? Because they hunt Stellarons. Innit? Right now we don't exactly know why we're hunting Stellarons, but what we do know is that one of the characters is named Kafka, and it's probably the sole reason you first put money into this game. Don't lie to me, I see the date of your transaction history. What's this? I'm getting word from my producer that we actually have footage of Star Rail fans reacting to Kafka's introduction. Let's have a look. Jesus Christ, guys.
Jesus Christ.
I knew you would.
And they actually kick off the events of this game because Herta, the goddamn genius Herta, thought it would be a great idea to leave a Stellaron hanging around somewhere on her station. And the game literally starts by Kafka breaking in and chest-fisting a Stellaron into an artificial body that awakens us, the Trailblazer. Yes, Kafka technically birthed us. That basically means
She is mommy!
she is our mommy. Look guys, I don't make
the rules. Just stating the facts. Hi, Mom!
the rules, that's just the way it is. I'm just conveying to you the message Hoyoverse clearly wants us all to hear. This is literally the first thing you see when you wake up. And as a newborn, our first words were... This is also where we get to meet the current Astral Express crew, which is the crew that will be staying with us throughout the entire journey. First, we have Zumi's Incarnate, March 7th, who is, not exactly the brightest girl. She's the type of girl who tried to solve the issue of racism by running, but that might be because she was found in this huge block of ice avatar style and has no memories of the life she lived before. So she decided to name herself after the dates they found her.
But Dad, I was born in September. Why am I named...
Shut up, drunk New Year's party January 1st. Then there's Dan Hung, the brooding quiet kid who seems to have a mysterious past. I have another quote from my wife about Dan Hung. I tried zooming in closely, but as you can see, he is not very hung. So that was a fucking lie, but okay. He ain't no bad boy Nanook. Then of course you have the mum and...
I feel like half this video is just gonna be Gigguk reading something Sydney said, then just zooming in on himself and going...
Dad of the Astral Express. Weltz, who was actually a character for Honkai Impact 3rd but got lost there and woke up in the wrong game. And of course, this person, which is Himiko. But not this Himiko, this is a totally different Himiko from Honkai Impact 3rd, which is different from this Himiko, who is Himiko from Honkai Gakuen 2. And this is him. Miko from Genshin Impact, no relation. And this, of course, is Saber. The only Saber in the Honkai universe. So far. A little bit of
So
trivia.
far.
One of the Hoyoverse founders, Dewey's favorite character happens to be Misato from Evangelion, and his favorite character from every Honkai game just happens to be Himiko. Alright, so I see what you're putting down. So with the Stellaron stuck in us and no other memory of where we came from, what else is there to do but to join the Astral Express crew? Because if we choose not to, the game ends there. Our first stop is Jurei 6, a snow world stuck in a permanent ice age called the Eternal Freeze, leaving most of its landmass uninhabited, save for a few settlements. Yes, it's Space Canada. without the maple syrup. Here you can find legally distinct Joseph Joestar.
You don't.
Legally distinct Ilya and Berserker.
You don't know that. You don't. Ah, it stopped recording! Alright, we're gonna record again. Hello, Stinky. Shut up. We'll go back a little bit, because I'm not sure if I... Actually, wait. Let me look. Did I never pick word? I don't think I did. You'll get the first half of it from the bot.
Of course, you have the mum and dad of the Astral Express. Welt, who's actually a character.
I don't know why I didn't record it.
But got lost there and woke up in the wrong game. And of course, this person, which is Himiko. But not this Himiko. This is a totally different Himiko from Honkai Impact 3rd, which is different from this Himiko, who is Himiko from Honkai Gakuen 2. And this is him.
Not gonna lie.
Himiko from Genshin Impact, no relation. And this, of course, is Saber. The only Saber in the Honkai universe. So far. A little bit of trivia. One of the Hoyoverse founders, Dewey's favorite character happens to be Misato from Evangelion.
She kinda cute though.
And his favorite character from every Honkai game just happens to be Himiko. Alright, so I see what you're putting down. So with the Stellaron stuck in us and no other memory of where we came from, what else is there to do but to join the Astral Express crew? Because if we choose not to, the game ends there. Our first stop is Jurel 6, a snow world stuck in a permanent ice age called the Eternal Freeze, leaving most of its landmass uninhabited, save for a few settlements. Yes, it's Space Canada. Without the maple syrup. Here you can find legally distinct Joseph Joestar, legally distinct Ilya and
Oi! You don't know if they have maple syrup? Also, best girl.
Azaka, and of course Zila and Bronya, who have a bit of a history. See, here they become really good.
Pour one out for Bronya and Zila. The forgotten girls. The forgotten lesbians. Both of them suck still to this day. The next buffs need to be Silverwolf, Sealy, and Bronya. Silverwolf still sucks!
Friends, but not too good of friends, but just friends who bicker and fight sometimes, but they are still friends. Good friends. But this is unlike other incarnations in the Honkai.
I want that girl on the left. Hello? She's like a fancy knight.
In different games, when they are also friends. That kiss. Kissy friends. But here, in Star Rail, they are just friends. Now kiss. They're just friends! The main faction you're going to find on Jurel 6 are the Architects, who are followers of the Eon of Preservation, Klipoth. And they're all about building walls and getting other planets to pay for it. They're led by the Supreme Guardian Kokolia, who is whoa. Her daughter is actually Bronya, and they lead the last settlement of humanity, Belobog. But Belobog has its own bog, and that's called the Underworld, which is under the world of Belobog.
I don't think you need to describe that. Its name I feel like its name describes it.
Where they stick all the poor and stinky people. I'm guessing it's mostly stinky people. Why?
You are wrong for putting T-Dog there. That's so wrong.
Fucking society, innit? And the Underworld is
Joker in the background.
built up from the Overworld because
Trash can! Trash can.
society, innit? Life is hard down here. It's dark and dirty, and people have to make ends meet.
That's not very accurate. They're wielding diamond swords. They should be using copper swords if they're poor.
By becoming miners and wandering into the great mines to find valuable resources. Somewhere, a Minecraft YouTuber is getting really excited about the mines, I mean, not the miners. The main enemy types here you can find are vagrants. 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 Grant?
We'll just steal off the miners.
Look,
I do love that all of them are, like, all different vagrants. And
life is hard down there, okay? Who cares if we steal from a miner or two? You guys are murdering us by the millions! So to keep it from becoming a lawless underworld, a group called Wildfire run everything down here. And they're led by, Man, I don't know what system of government they have for electing leaders down here in Drilo 6, but I think they might be onto something.
maybe.
Things are certainly not optimal for Space Canada thanks to the Eternal Freeze, but life wasn't always like this. See, 1,000 years before the Eternal Freeze, Drilo 6 was a prosperous place. Intergalactic civilizations start visiting Drilo 6 hoping to get in contact with the natives. The architects set up shop, opened a few Starbucks, and everyone lived in harmony. Until the Stellaron attacked. People started getting shook. Some pieced the fuck out, fearing the calamity it could bring, and this bad bitch named Melissa Rand starts building walls and settlements. Because, of course, the Antimatter Legion show up and are like, guys, come on, let us in. We promise we're not going to destroy anything. Okay, and that was a lie. Okay, we're joshing you. We're going to do a little bit of destroying. Starting
There's a lot.
30-year-long war, pushing humanity to its brink. And in desperation, Alyssa Rand hits up the Stellaron and is like, hey, Mr. Stellaron, so can you, like, help us get rid of the Antimatter Legion? You can use any means necessary. By any means necessary. Yep. You do realize I'm a Stellaron, right? You know, bringer of calamity, destruction, disaster. What's the worst that could happen? Okay. So the Stellaron decides to turn the thermostat down a bit. The Antimatter Legion go, brrr, it's cold, I'm out of here. Congratulations, Alyssa, you've successfully repelled the Antimatter Legion. Yay! What's the catch? You've wiped out all other life and made this planet totally uninhabitable. Fuck. And thus begins the Eternal Freeze, until we show up. So what's the storyline of Drilo 6? Bitch be wildin'. We rock up in our space train, knock over some trash cans, kick some Antimatter Legion ass, and we're all like, don't worry guys, we're here to save you from the Stellaron. To which Kekolia replies, oh, you here to save us? Is that what I heard? Go to jail. Because little do we know, the Stellaron has actually been whispering in her ear, being like, psst, hey, wouldn't it be bants if you just, I don't know, destroyed the world and rebuild it anew? Oh my god. I love Code Geass. Boys, what we saying? She a 10, but she wants to wipe out all life from the planet. So the entire story...
I mean, she's a 1. No reason.
Storyline of this arc is just us trying to take down a mom who's gone a bit loop-de-loop. And it all comes down to one final showdown where everyone teams up. Nameless versus Stellaron. Mother versus daughter. Where we... immediately get stabbed. Well guys, that's it. Game over. Pack it up. It's over.
We made a choice, go fight against your fate. They will come with the blade.
We
Brand
get
got a
aid, get a new preservation form, and beat the fuck out of her with the power of rock music and this giant fucking robot bloody mega fisting her into the ground. God damn, this sequence was awesome. Wait a minute. Oh man. Bronya, having killed Kekolia with her own hands, is left in tears, knowing she did the right thing, but still processing the death of her own mum. Then March 7th comes in like, hey guys, wasn't that so fun? Let's go to the pub and grab a pint. The Stellaron is sealed, Bronya becomes Supreme Guardian, the underworld is opened up, no more stinky people, and of course, Zila and Bronya continue being friends. Job done.
Friends.
Now we move on to
Dual full.
It's China. It's just China.
Is it China? I mean, yeah. No. Makes sense.
Humans, furries, and scalies live in unison on
Hi.
these ships, with each ship housing different races and cultures with names I can barely pronounce.
So far, no one
you
told
can
me.
find people
That-
like Space
Boka,
Conning,
Boka,
Kindergarten
Zaboka.
Sassy Lost Child version 2,
Sassy lost waifu.
Daniel, the cooler Daniel, and Blade, the embodiment of Black Air.
Never gonna be good. The only character that got decent was Kafka. All the other ones, they don't care. They don't want them to be good. Because they have a better concept that's more expensive.
Force energy, literally saving up centuries of hatred, going around looking for just one thing. A way to die. And he looks like this. And he calls himself Blade. Bro is canonically hundreds of years old and hasn't mentally matured past the age of 14. Now for this story, we're just focusing on the but it is just one of 6 ships, all together forming the Xianzhou Alliance, which can also be split up into different divisions run by different groups of people that sometimes have guilds within them, causing factions within factions within factions within factions within factions.
Politics, am I right?
Meaning every character we meet here has a title about as long as your average light novel name, like they jack off every time Daenerys Targaryen introduces herself. It would take this entire video length just to break down every faction within this one ship.
It would.
So
That's
we are going to focus on what
this
is the
one
most
area is why I was like,
important for the main
how is this
concept,
only
and that
46
revolves
minutes?
around the long-life species that you can find on the ship, which are species that can live long lives, as opposed to the short life species, or baby men, which is what I imagine they're called by the long life species. First off, we have Foxians, who are fox-like beings with fox-like characteristics, and on the furry scale, they land about here. That's still good, right? I think that's still good. You know what? Let me check with my local furry expert. Yo, D, how does that look?
What the fuck? How would I know? Come on, D. You know why.
So don't worry, Face Charmaine.
The
You guys
room.
are still safe. It's not too late yet.
You leave my stepmom out of this. Okay.
Xenozone Zero players, please seek professional help. Then we got the Vidiharas, Videharas, Vidihara, Vidimen. These are people with dragon-like characteristics
Vidimen.
who are functionally immortal. But instead of going through one long lifespan, they go through a cycle of rebirth, where after a certain age, they get reborn while their body gets repaired and lose all their memories, in a process the FBI calls Schrodinger's lolly, where characters can canonically be both 13 and 1300 years old at the same time. And lastly, we got the Xianzhou natives, who bring the main beef to this all-you-can-eat buffet. Many years ago, the Xianzhou Alliance traveled the stars to search for immortality, where they just happened to run into the Aeon of Abundance, Yao Shi. Now Yao Shi, she's a giving Aeon, maybe a bit too giving, but don't worry about this part of the title. She sees everyone turn up asking for immortality, and she's like, you get immortality, and you get immortality, and you get immortality. What's this I'm holding in my hand? Don't worry about it.
It's a movie's ball.
So she plants this big ass tree called the Ambrosia Arbor that allows anyone who eats its fruits to become immortal. Yay for trees, guys! We love trees! But unfortunately for the Xianzhou natives, they get so much immortality and live for so long that eventually they fall into madness and the body mutates into this zombie tree-like thing that they call Mara Strike. And so once everyone realizes that immortality isn't everything it's cracked up to be, they all start to turn on this all-giving Aeon of Abundance. And it's like, fuck you, fuck everything you stand for, fuck all your followers, and fuck your stupid little arms. And look, I'm not gonna lie, I actually kind of feel bad for Yao Shi. Like, aside from this, there was also a time when the Foxians were going through a famine on their planet. So in desperation, they asked Yao Shi to give them some food. She plants so much food for them that eventually it spurs a population explosion that kills their ecosystem and destroys their planet. Like, when are people going to learn that her name is the Aeon of Abundance? Not the Aeon of, okay, just tell me when. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay, yeah, you can stop now. That's enough slices! Because in response to the immortality epidemic, everyone on the who changes their path to the path of the hunt. Now, the path of the hunt is similar in philosophy to the path to destruction, but unlike Nanook, who is like, fuck everyone, the hunt is more like, fuck you.
I always thought that was weird. But when I think about it, I guess abundance is considered basically all of nature as well. So it's like hunt is for hunting nature. I don't know.
Just you. fuck you in particular. Like the Eon of the Hunt, Lan is the self-proclaimed sworn enemy of abundance and will go around endlessly eradicating any followers of Yao Shi. Bro's got more generational hatred than Dio does for the Joestar lineage, and poor Yao Shi is just in the corner sitting down going like, guys, I don't mean to victim blame, but you literally did ask for it. So they commit a bit of casual deforestation, destroying this immortality granting trees because fuck trees, am I right? What the fuck have trees done? Supplying oxygen and immortality to people. Puh, I spit on you. So what's the Lao Fu storyline? It's this tree and a Stellaron. Because of course it's a Stellaron. We hear a rumor that there's a Stellaron on board from Kafka, and you know what happens when Kafka goes fetch? We go, and it seems like someone's fucking done it by planting a Stellaron at the root of this tree, causing it to resurrect along with this deer tree thingy. But who could have done such a thing? Turns out, not everyone agrees that immortality is a bad thing, so they all gather together in secrecy, forming this weird-ass group called the Disciples of Sanctus Medicus, who looked at the way everyone was hating on Yao Shi and was like, I know Yao Shi, yeah, she crazy, man. She fucking sucks. God, I hate her guts. Can't let guy know I secretly fuck with this. Little do we know that there's a real mastermind orchestrating everything from behind the scenes. That's revealed to us at breakneck speed. Yep, it was a real plot twist. Someone got Thanos snapped out of existence. All right, I'm gonna go watch some TikTok chiropractor videos now. You'll never be able to guess who it is this time, lads. That's right.
Give you one guess. It starts with Stabby McStab Stab.
The fucking anti-matter legion.
Exactly!
And this time is one of their head honchos, Fantilia, who is one of Nanook's emanators. And she takes the form of, god damn! Pretty sure Thanos had to clap for this one. Yes, this entire thing was just the antimatter legion trying to destroy the from within. And they would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for Dan Heng, who is secretly a dragon person, because Dan Heng is actually the reincarnation of Dan Feng, the cooler Daniel, not to be confused with Dan Sung or Dan Dung, who also has a history with Blade, because they used to be really good friends, but not too good of friends. But according to some of the lore you can find in some of the relic sets, they were what you call bosom friends. Hey yo, what? But that's all in the past now, because Blade actually hates Dan Heng, because Dan Heng was previously Dan Feng, and Dan Feng committed a crime which caused Blade to be immortal. So Blade now hates Dan Feng, but he got reincarnated to Dan Heng, so they are no longer bosom friends, they are bosom enemies. Now kiss. They're just enemies, guys! So just enemies! Dan Feng returns and parts the fucking waterway, Moses style. We take down the second mummy boss of this game so far, and this boss music is an absolute bop. That's it.
You are full.
Done. Alright, this video is getting a bit long, so what do we got next? Fuck.
One of the longest arcs.
Welcome to Penacony, the land of festivities, where the game goes from just taking a few hours to complete all the story missions to this world is the legally distinct Disneyland for people who look like this, bringing in the wealthiest and most privileged individuals from all around the universe thanks to its main attraction, the Dreamscape.
Tick-tock! Our friends are awake and asleep. Welcome to...
Fuck me, is that Tiki Mouse? The Dreamscape is like if Inception and the Matrix had one big incestuous baby. It's a lucid dream world you share with all the other attendees there where anything is possible. Get blackout drunk without having a hangover? Go for it. Oh, that's just fucking Tuesday at Spoons, innit? Gacha! In your gacha game. Because spending your real life money wasn't enough. Not even fall damage can kill you, which would be relevant if Star Rail actually had a jump button. Here we'll run into people like Dr. L plus Ratio, the real gacha man. My little sister. My little sister can't be this cute. And just another totally normal cute anime girl here. Nothing to see here, guys. Just another cute wiped out to your collection. And of course, season...
These jokes are just hitting, man. These jokes are just hitting one after the other.
20 of my favorite Hoyoverse anime. Can a girl-girl friendship survive? Now...
Oi!
Okay. I need an adult. This is also where we get introduced to a plethora of new factions because they've invited everyone under the sun to attend. So I'm going to try and keep this as fast as possible. Starting things off with one of the biggest factions in the Honkai Star Rail universe, the IPC. The IPC is like if
I'll be honest here. It's not the IPC. It's the IRS.
The IRS, Amazon, and the S&P 500 came together and made one big incestuous baby.
Yeah.
And don't ask why I keep saying incestuous baby, it's not that deep. It is the mega corporation of megacorporations, controlling all business transactions from across the universe. Its mere concept is enough to give Jeff Bezos the biggest morning wood of his life. They supposedly follow our old friend Clipoff, the Eon of Preservation, but the IPC believes, unlike the architects from Jarilo 6, that they need one thing and one thing only to help Clipoff meet their goals. Money. And they've sent one of their representatives, Adventurine, to try and get some of those big fat Penacony profits, which is on brand because one of his attacks is literally beating the fuck out of you with money. He's not even rich, he's just reckless about spending his money. Honestly, I vibe with that. You have the Galaxy Rangers, which in this case comes in the form of Boot Hill, who is a space
Obligatory Amumu's favorite. There you go, chat. I said it. It's not true though!
cowboy, and is like playing Red Dead Redemption 2 with parental controls on.
Son of a nice lady.
There's Akron.
I do love that he's literally... He's like PG... He's PG cowboy. Like, every time he would cuss, he says, like, nice lady, or... Garn tootin'.
Pretends to be a Galaxy Ranger, but really her true identity is the Emanator of Nihility, which makes her pretty damn powerful. Now, Nihility is all about a state of nothingness or non-existence, so I don't know how she got the job, but I assume it went...
It basically was kidnapping. In a very messed up kind of way.
Something along the lines of... You got the job. Wait, what? There's Black Swan. Now her whole thing becomes a lot more
that's kind of how it went.
relevant in the next world, so we'll come back to her. There's this one girl from a faction called the Masked Fools who is
my inner gremlin.
not too relevant right now, but I just want to mention their Eon, because their entire path philosophy seems to be Lamau, why not? Like this one time.
That is literally what it is.
Emanators, a worm. A fucking worm. Like, can you just imagine all the Eons out there vying for power, and Aha's just there in the corner like, he turned into a worm. Funniest shit I've ever seen. The Celeron Hunters are back at it again, this time sending in Firefly, who has a sad backstory because she has space cancer or some shit, but most importantly, she
like super aggressive space cancer.
takes you on a date. A date. And then she ended up crashing top-up services and breaking every revenue record Star Rail had on release. Like, come on!
To be fair, she's like a Gundam. That's kind of cool.
Come on, guys, are we such simple creatures? Are we just that easy to manipulate? Why are you showing footage of my Firefly? And all these different factions gather together on Penacony, because Penacony is run by a group called the Family. That's run by a man named Gopher Wood, who has 2 adopted children in Sunday and Space Taylor Swift. And their security is run by
Taylor Swift?
right here. Finally, Star Rail adding a proper daddy to their roster.
I'm 13.
Goddamn. My boy's aging.
Isn't that like his rank or something? Not his actual age?
At the speed of light. And their history ties right into the founding and main storyline of Penacony, because before Penacony was this luxury vacation spot, it was a barren
Battery is not actually a person, if I remember correctly.
desert with a rather embarrassing
Technically, he exists and doesn't
leakage
exist.
problem, because it was leaking Memoria. What is
It was the amount of people he used as a reference for his personality. Okay.
Memoria? It's memory come. Alright, if you want a more...
You didn't have to call it that, Gigguk. You didn't have to call it. I know it's technically... Moving on.
more detailed explanation.
Hi.
Memoria is the substance that serves as a vessel for
You're not on
human
YouTube
memory
today,
and
too?
consciousness. That seems to be some sort of physical manifestation of memories or mental energy that can sometimes group together in high concentration and can have a negative impact if a normal human is exposed to it for too long. It's memory come. So the IPC sees this and thinks, money. Turning Penacony into a prison planet where they send all their prisoners to help fix the Memoria leaks. I don't know what.
It's worse when you realize what he called it.
I'm doing right now. I was meant to be mining, I think. Yes, everyone thought Penacony
I
was meant
am.
to be Vegas, but think about it. Former prison colony,
I do.
barren desert.
I just missed it that one day because I thought it was on it, but it wasn't.
Eventually, the prisoners spend so much time around Memoria that they begin losing their absolute dicks and they start to enter a shared dream world, like the ultimate VR gamers in a shared server. Now, what do all gamers dream of doing together? That's right, rising up. They rise up against the IPC, take back the planet, and of course, this is the perfect time for a Stellaron to come in and be like, "Why, hello there. Allow me to introduce myself." With the planet in utter chaos, this is when Shipe, the Eon of Harmony, descends down and tells them, "Yes, it is I, the Eon of Harmony. Can you, like, stop being so not harmonious and stuff?" Nice rack! So Shipe helps the prisoners integrate into the family. They split up into 7 different factions, which eventually becomes 5, giving them control over Penacony with no more IPC. Yay, we did it, guys! We beat capitalism! And so then the family thinks to themselves, wait guys, hear me out, crazy idea. What if we turn this shared dream world into a commercialized vacation spot where all the rich people spend all their money, and we can even throw this big festival called the Charmly Festival where we only invite the most important people from around the universe to attend. Yay, capitalism! Now as followers of the
Yeah, now that I think about it, that is literally the story.
Harmony, a path all about getting along well with each other through mutual trust and cooperation.
Now that he puts it in perspective, it is literally get the frick out capitalism, only to be like, we're capitalism.
You'd think the family would be just a bunch of chill dudes. Well, that would be the case if the leader wasn't secretly getting his dick wet for another Eon. See, Eons might seem like these immortal, everlasting, godlike beings, but they can actually be slain, and some of them can even be absorbed into other Eons, which is exactly what happened to Enna, the Eon of Order. Now, Enna is all about controlling the masses through strict oppressive means to maintain order. She is the final form of your Asian mum when you tell her you're getting an art degree. But like every good Minecraft YouTuber, bitch just became irrelevant, and eventually Shipe came along and assimilated Enna inside of her, which is essentially an Aeon getting bored to death. I don't know why I wrote that sentence. But unfortunately for Penacony, this Asian mum is the Eon that the head of the family secretly follows. They don't want the new hotness. They want old and busted. And so the head of the family comes up with this plan to resurrect Enna and leaves it to his adopted son, Sunday, to enact it. Now, Sunday is a man with a strong personal philosophy. He just wants everyone to be happy, even if the happiness comes from sheltering people from the harsh realities of the world by force. And he
Yeah, they tell you a story near the beginning when they're introducing Sunday and his sister, where they it's like near the middle end, where they're trying to explain these characters, and it's a story about a bird getting hurt and stuff, and what would you do? Would you put it in the cage or let it fly free? Sunday would rather put it in the cage to protect it, knowing that it may cause it to never fly again. Where his sister is basically the concept of let it fly free and see how far it can fly. Like, let it survive. Like, help nurse it back to health and then let it free.
thinks this way because he saw a bird once. Okay, well.
It's a simplification of it, but yes. He saw a bird once.
Oh, there we go. All right, I'll leave you for a second.
It hit him when he was very young, so it impressed upon him. It impressed on his sister in the right way, and it impressed on him the wrong way, where he took it to things should be sheltered and kept away from danger, where she took the message as you can love something and still let it go.
We'll come back to him. He wants to activate the Stellaron, putting Penacony into a permanent dream world where people can't wake up from it. It will be a perfect paradise with no conflicts, no pain, no suffering, and no.
We're gonna probably really play it.
People are completely unaware that it's a dream.
Friday or Saturday or Sunday. Oh no, Sunday is probably gonna be.
He's the bad guy, right? Oh, I'm sorry. Free will. People don't get free will. Yay for free will. I'd always choose free will. I say 3 hours into my TikTok scrolling sesh, being mindlessly fed videos I didn't choose, finding my life increasingly dictated by algorithms. Yeah, because if
Ain't that the truth?
there was one thing Sunday didn't account for, it was us, the Trailblazer. Because we turn up to the final battleground, because is he still talking about the bird? Let's give him a minute, I'm sure he's almost finished.
8 hours later.
To fashion a cage for it.
Oh shit. Because we turn up to the final battleground because a little birdie wants to, oh for fuck's sake. And this all culminates in one of the most
To be fair, the story about the bird is kind of long.
hype moments of the game so far, where we take
It's not 8 hours long, but it's kind of long.
heavenly mechanical conductor thing while fucking Space Taylor Swift sings in the background and we throw a goddamn train at it. Yes, we beat the final boss by driving a fucking train into it.
Put your hands up!
All I'm saying is, I'm not an Idol fan.
And you with me?
But in the aftermath, the IPC come back
Dun,
and
dun,
share
dun,
a
dun.
benefit, which somehow ends in us getting 5%, which, I mean, yay, capitalism! And then Black Swan hitches a ride with the Astro Express along with the newly reformed Sunday as well. Alright, Sunday, I know you just tried to take over Penacony, but we're cool with that, we're cool, I can forgive that. Just, if you're gonna be here, can you just not talk about any birds?
You'll see.
Is that cool? Are you cool with that? Alright.
I don't think he talks about birds at all when you talk to him. If you find him. Because I think he's different places.
Let's fly off to our next destino. This brings up to our final
That
stop
joke.
so far and Star Rail's most ambitious story yet. Amphorius. Now, at the time of writing this, Amphorius' arc is not currently finished, so we're not going to get too heavy into spoilers, so I'll just give you a basic overview of what this world is about. Welcome to the world of
It is Space Greece.
of War. In space, a world themed about the Greek mythos that nobody knows anything about. It's so shrouded in mystery that even Akavili did not visit this place when he was trailblazing around the universe. Come on Akavili mate, get with it, how the fuck do you miss this place? And the only reason we know anything about it is because of Black Swan. Remember when we said we'd come back to her? Well, Black Swan is a member of the Garden of Recollection, and they follow the Aeon Thule, the Aeon of Remembrance. This path is all about preserving memories and keeping records of everything that's happened so no one forgets anything, which is useful for anyone over the age of 30. Because if you've been paying close
It's useful for me for all ages, honestly.
attention, you may notice that every world's been themed around a certain path. We've gone from preservation to abundance to harmony, and now we are here at Remembrance. We even get our own remembrance powers by adopting this
Morning,
cute little pink
Boka.
feline
Been
called
building
Mem,
some minis as of late.
Ooh!
who stays with us on our journey and constantly talks in our ears. And wait a minute.
Ah! Ah! Can't wait.
Oh no, this is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them. But what is this world all about? Well, remember at the start of the video when I said try not to be intimidated by the amounts of eons out there? Well, apparently that wasn't enough information because Amphorius has its own godlike beings that are not eons or emanators. They're called Titans, and they created the world of Amphorius. And there are 12 of them! Oh god, by the
It feels like the person that wrote the lore of this game feels like, what's it called? Not majority. Quantity is better than quality. Sometimes you could do a lot with 4 or 5 that you're trying to do with 12. You could do much more.
end of this game, I swear, Star Rail's gonna have more mythology.
I have a feeling a CEO forced them to do 12 or something, like a big number, because they're probably going to try to give us one character from each or something.
Than actual mythology. Alright, lock in gang, because I'm gonna go over this pretty quickly.
It is based off the gods, though. To be fair.
War and death to the planets. Alright, you get all that?
He's joking, right?
No. No one was listening?
No, everyone laughed.
Well, that's okay, because unless
It's
you
not
actually
one
want a deep
eon
dive on
or
how
2
each-
eons.
It's the ends of eons.
Yes, it's
each Titan story ties into the world, all you really need to know is that all these Titan came from these things called core flames that was given to Amphorius by an even higher god. Who is this higher god? I don't know. I'll never tell. XOXO, Gossip Girl. I don't actually know.
No one knows.
The most notable Titan you should be aware of, though, is Kefle, the world-bearing Titan, who created the humans of this world and is the site of humanity's last stronghold. Because everything was chill until the Black Tide came along and fucked everything up. Wait, it's the Black Tide this time and not a Stellaron? That can't be right. Stellaron! Stellaron!
You baby!
Where are you? I know you're hiding somewhere here, you son of a bitch. The Black Tide is this...
We don't know that yet. But there's a high likelihood that there's something to do with one.
mysterious corrupting force that turns people into fucking bent-out tweakers. It destroyed multiple cities and turned several of the Titans mad. And so, to avoid corruption, Kefle just goes, dun 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 dun, fucking blue screens himself, but not before bestowing a prophecy upon humanity. 12 chosen heroes with golden blood will appear, strong enough to defeat the Titans and take their core flames, ascending to become demigods. Only then will humanity come.
Will humanity
to a new
come?
Era of prosperity. I don't know why I said come. These heroes
You're gonna break me.
will be known as the Amphorius 5-star units, or the Chrysos heirs. And that's the basic premise of Amphorius. We go around kicking the shit out of the Titans with the Chrysos heirs, jacking their core flames, and letting Hoiver spend their budget on these very beautiful alt animations. You have Tribios, who despite her looks is already a demigod, along with Aglaia, who has the core flame of the Titan of Romance. And all I'm saying is, she can romance me any what? There's Castris, who is
Sitting behind him with a knife.
She's okay. Nothing much to say.
She's kind of cancer.
Say about her story, actually. And of course, you have Mighty and Phynon. Mighty,
Kind of cute. Pretty boy, pretentious.
who is an Angie boy, who I swear to God is trying to compete with Sung Jin Woo for Aura Farmer of the Year. And then you have Phynon, who is a good boy. The goodest of boys. And he goes through a lot. Together they make a great team, except they would do if they weren't bitter rivals who compete in absolutely everything they do. But guys, that's actually really early because they actually care about each other and they're just trying to bring out the best in each other because they're the best of friends. But
I swear if he says kiss, I'm gonna...
they would never admit that because they're bitter rivals. You know, I would say now kiss, but
I didn't pre-watch, I promise. My jaw's
pretty
not on
sure
the
they
floor.
already kissed.
My jaw's not on the floor, I promise.
each other goodnight.
Okay, take that back. But it's not. I swear.
That's the setup for Amphorius in a nutshell, which is the bare-bones, surface-level explanation for all the things hiding underneath this world. I will say there have been some developments in the overarching story arc, but what I will say is that compared to previous arcs, the setup and execution is actually far more straightforward than what
It
we've
did
seen
feel a
Star
lot
Wars
more
before.
straightforward.
We are just over halfway through the story arc right now, and I will say, as an aside, it is actually shaping up to be my favorite Star Rail story arc and world so far. I don't need that. And of course, that leads...
If we get past the casters thing, and if they buff my girls, then sure.
leads us to the final development in the Honkai Star Rail universe, the fated crossover with Fate Stay Night's Unlimited Blade Works. I see what he did there. Woo! We fucking did it, guys! I don't know how, but it actually happened. Now, this storyline isn't like all the previous storylines we covered. This is more of a side story. Think of it as a beach episode with no beach and just a holy grail. We head back to Penacony, where one of the heads of the families, Oti, was messing around, where he just stumbles upon a holy grail. But not just any Holy Grail, it is a mini Holy Grail. Bro, I'm lucky enough to find £5 in my pocket, and then there's this guy stumbling upon a bloody Holy Grail. And so he decides to host his own mini Holy Grail war. Now, any true Fate fan would know that the Holy Grail war is always held in secret with no way for the public to know. But this one is different. OT holds a public Holy Grail war, and I assume charges people more than your average influencer boxing match to watch the bloodbath unfold. 4 summon famous people from Penacony, where some of them mess up and accidentally summon some familiar faces from a different universe. Wait, wrong universe, wrong universe! As one of the masters, the Trailblazer accidentally summons the King of Knights themselves, Saber. Adventurine somehow summons Archer, and of course, Boot Heel gets our favorite son of a nice lady, Lancer, who is alive. And Berserker's master and servant
isn't alive.
Is OT? He's Berserker's Star Rail's master and servant? But we have Berserker right over there. And that's it! The collaboration is out right now, so whether you're a Fate fan or a Star Rail player or you're both, go get it while you can, gamers. And that completes my
We might play some of that today.
rundown of Honkai Star Rail. Look, this game has only been out for about 3 years, and I'm not gonna lie, there is so much lore and so much story to go through that I had to cut a ridiculous amount out of some of these worlds. This was all meant to just be a very basic introduction into the entire world and story of Star Rail, and even then, it somehow is even longer than my Fate video. So if you want to get the full picture, there are already some very talented content creators covering this topic, or you know what? You can just go play the game yourself, because while this is the short version, I will categorically say this now, that there will never be a long version from me. But who knows what the future holds.
He didn't push it away! Gigguk, I know you. Gigguk? Down!
Such is the fate of YouTubers.
Hey guys,
exactly.
With that video. Once again, thank you very much to Hoyoverse for sponsoring today's video. You can check out the Honkai Star Rail Fate collab right now by clicking that link in the description to check it out for yourself. But guys, extra add-on, I am doing a one-time only theater premiere for my anime.
Oh.
It is going to be on the 24th of August at 6 PM at the Grand Cinema Sunshine Ikebukuro in Japan. I'm excited, but very nervous to show you guys what I've been working on. So if you want to join me for what is possibly the biggest night of my career so far, you can get tickets at barnpremiere.peatrix.com. Links in the description below as well. But yeah, even though this was a sponsored video, this took a lot of work. Way more work than any of my usual videos. So I want to give a quick shout out to my editing team and just my team in general for helping me make this video. There is absolutely no way I could have done this by myself or with just one person. As you can hopefully tell, even though this was a sponsored video, they put their everything into this, and I think they earned a much needed break. And guys, just a quick update, the seasonal summer anime in a nutshell video will be a little bit late this season because I've been kind of busy working on this mega project and also working on another mega project, which is an anime. So I apologize for that video coming a little bit later this season, but it is still coming.
I knew you would come.
Anyway though, that's been it from
I
me
knew it.
today.
I knew he'd sneak in one more. I knew he'd sneak in one more. I knew it.